There is a hush all over Europe. The Phony War, September 3rd, 1939 through April 1940. In context, focus, military tactics. Before 1915, overwhelming defensive firepower leads to stalemate in the trenches on the Western Front in World War I. September 1938, at the Munich Peace Conference, France and Britain tried to appease Hitler by agreeing to his claims on Sudetenland and Czechoslovakia. After June 1944, in the Battle of Normandy, German troops fled fields and employed successful flights to defend to slow the Allied track. 1947 and 1951. During the Cold War, the United States and its allies intervened to prevent the spread of communism, but do not attack countries that are already communist. The Phony War refers to the period between September 1939, and April 1940, when Britain and France were officially at war with Germany, but there was little or no fighting on land or in the air. After the September invasion of Poland by Germany, the Polish government had pinned all its hopes on a relief operation by its Anglo-French allies, counting on Neville Chamberlain's April guarantee of, quote, all support and the power, unquote, of the Allies in the event of attack. Polish hopes and Hitler's worst fears of a powerful invasion across Germany's western borders were dashed, however. Defense was the Allies' strategy. Any action was limited. British planes bombed a German naval base on September 4th, and on September 6th, French troops invaded 5 miles or 8 kilometers into Germany's Saarland along a 15-mile or 24-kilometer front. German forces reacted by retreating behind the Siegfried Line, a system of fortifications along their western border, and after 5 days, the French pulled back. On September 9th, Britain's vanguard army, the British Expeditionary Force, crossed into France but did not venture beyond the fortifications and defenses of the French Maginot Line, stretching along the country's eastern frontier. In this picture, a train carried soldiers of the British Expeditionary Force to the front in early 1940. The forces began moving to France on September 4th, 1939, during the French and the Northeastern Front. It is ignominious to wage a confetti war against an utterly ruthless enemy. General Edward Spears on the British Leaflet Campaign. Calm before the storm. For the next 8 months, the Western Front saw no action. Although French and British forces on the Western Front outnumbered the German divisions by 2-1, the Allies spurned what was later recognized as their best chance to mount an effective war. Instead, governed by the assumptions and tactics of World War I, they put their faith in defense. There was general belief and hope that once Hitler had achieved his strategic arms in Poland, he would seek peace with the Allies, something Hitler's own generals pressed him to do. In a speech on October 6, 3 days before issuing orders to attack Northern Allied armies through Belgium, Hitler alluded to seek peace while soliciting on recognition of German conquest. The Allies rejected these vague overtures. At the same time, the Allies, who needed time to build up their forces, thought it prudent to avoid antagonizing the Germans. In places on the German border, French troops put up polite saying, "Don't shoot, please. We won't shoot either." The British refused to bomb German munitions factories on the basis that they were private property. Instead, they dropped millions of propaganda leaflets on German towns. In the end, however, further German aggression in 1939 was prevented by the onset of a severe winter. War at sea. While calm prevailed on land and in the air, the war was far from phony at sea. Just 9 hours after Britain's declaration of war on September 3rd, a German U-boat submarine torpedoed the British cruise line SS Athenia with the loss of more than 100 people. Over the next month, German U-boats claimed victories against British naval power, including the sinking of the aircraft carrier HMS Courageous on September 17th and the loss of the battleship HMS Royal Oak and supposedly impregnable harbour of Scapa Flow in Scotland's Orkney Islands, with the loss of more than 800 crew. The German invasion of Denmark and Norway in April 1940 would finally signal the end of the phony war on land. The Maginot Line. Named for André Maginot, a French minister of war in the 1930s, the Maginot Line consisted of a series of fortifications along the Franco-German border. It ran from Pontarlier on the Swiss frontier to the borders of Luxembourg and Belgium, although there were also sections in southern France. The line was built in the wake of World War I with the aim of creating an impenetrable wall. The northern section of the line was 280 miles long and manned by 400,000 troops. Its concrete and steel structure contained a network of passages and living quarters. An underground railroad took troops to their command posts. It was proposed that the line would run all the way to the English Channel, but lack of money and Belgian obligations curtailed such plans. This made it easy for the Germans to outflank the line. It was later said the defensive mindset engendered. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay. It was later said that the defensive mindset engendered by the Maginot Line undermines French military morale.